Hello friends, this is Gyan Sharma from astrological.com. Based on my Vedic astrology research on autism, I came up with a set of 7 golden astrological rules, which are applicable in almost all horoscopes of autism. I will be sharing these rules today. Hello everybody, this is Gyan Sharma from Astrological. Today's video is about a research topic, and the subject of this research topic is astrological reasons for autism. I have been doing research on mental health issues and especially autism since last 1 or 2 years, and I have analyzed many horoscopes. Based on my research on autism, I came up with a set of 7 golden Vedic astrology rules, which are applicable in almost all horoscopes. If I consider only Rashi chart or D1 chart, then these rules are true in 100% of the cases. But in my research, I have included D9 chart, which is Navmansh, D3 chart, and D12 chart also. In that case, also, these rules are applicable in almost around 95% cases. Yeah. But before explaining these rules, let me tell you something about the autism. What is autism? So autism is spectrum disorder, or ASD. It is a developmental disorder that affects communication, social interaction, and behavior. It is called a spectrum disorder because it affects individuals differently. Now I'm going to share few slides actually, and with these slides I will try to explain these astrology rules. Okay. Okay, so here are the rules actually which I was talking about. First rule is about Mercury. For autism, the affliction of Mercury is the most important factor in Vedic astrology for two reasons. First one is communication, and another one is imitation. Mercury rules our ability to communicate with others, so an afflicted Mercury is a major factor in autism. Also, an afflicted Mercury makes it hard for children to imitate others. Normally, children learn and understand basic things quickly by imitation. So that was the first rule, Mercury. Yeah. And now come to the second rule, that is about the second house. So the affliction of the second house is also very common in autism because second house governs our oral communication or speech. Children with autism often learn to speak very late. So that's why second house is also very important. There must be some affliction on the second house. Lord of the second house must be afflicted, or it may be weak, or there may be an impact of some malefic planets. Third rule is about the ascendant and sign Aries. Yeah. So as we know, ascendant is the most important house for good health. It is also called Lagna in Hindi. If ascendant or lord of the ascendant is weak, afflicted, or ill-placed, then there is a chance that any type of health issues, including the mental health issues, may arise. Yeah. And Aries, sign Aries is also very important because Aries happens to be the first house equivalent to the head of the Kal Purush. So ascendant and Aries both need to be unafflicted. They should not have a lot of negative impact, and they should be sound enough, strong enough for good health, especially mental health. Yeah. And now comes to the fourth point. Fourth point is about the moon. Yeah, as we know, moon is the significator of mind. Its moon strength and weakness, actually, it reflects the state of someone's mind. For a good mental health, a well-placed moon is mandatory. So moon is very important, actually, especially for mental health. Any type of mental health issue, moon is the most important factor, most important planet. And I have given sub-classification of these rules also for moon and ascendant that I am going to cover it later. And there may be many factors related to moon. For example, if moon is sitting very closely with sun, so we say that moon is combust. So in that combustion state of moon, what happens? It gives slow mental activities, or remain mentally inactive, or remaining unresponsive, Yeah. Same thing if moon is sitting with Mars, then what will happen? As we know, Mars is a very violent planet. So it gives extreme anger, irritation, yeah, remain highly restless, that kind of things. And if moon and Saturn is combined, then what it gives? It gives extreme fear, aggressive tendencies, and remain violent. These kind of things. So moon should be clear from the impact of any malefic, any severe malefic planets. It should be strong enough. It should be away from sun. All these rules. Yeah. Then come to the fifth point. Fifth point is about Jupiter. As we know, Jupiter is the best benefic planet, and it is the significator of maturity and wisdom. So a well-placed, strong Jupiter is very important actually for a good mental health. Now the next rule is about the sun actually. Yeah, so sun gives the immunity to fight any disease. A strong and well-placed sun is required to recover from any type of disease, including any mental health issues. Yeah. So a strong sun is required to recover from these things. It is not the cause of the mental health, but it helps to recover from the illness, actually, any type of illness. So sun is very important. And now final rule, seventh rule is about the fifth house actually. So what is fifth house? Fifth house is the house of logic, intelligence, and wisdom. Yeah. So for a sound mental health, the fifth house, fifth house lord must be unafflicted. They should be strong enough. Actually, there should be benefic influence, all these things. So fifth house is also very, very important for logic, intelligence, and wisdom. So these are the 7 rules actually I have discussed, and I have analyzed these 7 rules on 4 types of chart. One is Rashi chart, which is D1, and then Nauman's chart, a D9 chart, and then D3 and D12 chart. They are also very useful to analyze any medical issues actually. For any type of medical uh, problem, medical issues, D3 and D12 chart must be seen. So now I'm going to explain you about the sub rules for ascendant and sub rules for moon. Yeah. So there in the next slide. Okay. Next slide is about the ascendant, sub rules for the ascendant. Yeah. So these are the rules which are self-explanatory, but I will just go through one by one. Ascendant or lord of the ascendant is aspected by malefic planets. It should not be. Sign Aries is afflicted. Yeah, it should not be afflicted. Ascendant and lord of the ascendant is in RK, Rahu Ketu axis, or in Pap Kartari Yoga. Then it's a negative point actually. Ascendant, lord of the ascendant is sitting with malefic or Badhak planets. Lord of the ascendant is sitting in the 8th, 6th, or 12th houses. Badhak planet is aspecting ascendant or lord of the ascendant. Ascendant is in the constellation of sublord of planet, which is related to 6, 8, 12 houses or severely afflicted. And Lord of the Ascendant is debilitated. So these are the sub rules. So while analyzing my horoscopes, I was giving point for each of these problems actually. And then I have calculated my total score. Yeah. Next, come to these are the rules for sub rules for moon. And inauspicious or Badhak planet is aspecting moon. Saturn has negative influence on moon. Moon is debilitated or severely combust. And inauspicious or Badhak planet is sitting with moon. Moon is in RK, Rahu Ketu axis, or in Pap Kartari Yoga. Moon is sitting in the 6, 8, 12 houses. Moon is in the constellation of sublord of planet, which is related to 6, 8, 12 house or severely afflicted. Moon is the lord of 6, 8, or 12 houses. So these are the sub rules of moon. Now here is the result. This is the main sheet actually, which shows 7 rules. Actually, I say 7 golden rules because they are around 95% true if we match all 4 charts, D1, D3, D9, and D12. Yeah. And they match 100% of the cases if we just see D1 chart, that is Lagna chart or Rashi chart. They are 100% true. And this is the way I have done my research. Like I have written all the rules on one side, and then I have analyzed all horoscopes one by one. And these are the columns for D1 D1 horoscope, D9 horoscope, D3 horoscope, and D12 horoscope. So whenever there is any rule which is applicable, I was giving 1 point here, 1 point here. Yeah. So based on that, actually, I came up with this score. Yeah. Now let's understand all these 7 rules through one of the horoscope. And this is the horoscope of one boy actually who is suffering from autism. We can see now we will examine all rules one by one. So first rule is about the Mercury. We can see that Mercury here, it is a lord of the Lagna, lord of the ascendant, and it is sitting here in the third house with Mars. And what is Mars? Mars is the lord of the eighth house. Yeah. And it is also aspected by the Saturn. Saturn is malefic planet and it is lord of the sixth house. So two negative influences on Mercury here. And Mercury is also in the constellation of retrograde Jupiter. And Jupiter is also a Badhak planet here. So that is not good actually. So Mercury is not a very happy planet here. Now come to the second point, that is about the second house of communication and speech. Yeah. Second house, we can see that 12th Lord debilitated, Sun is sitting here. And Moon is also sitting here, which is very, very combust. Only 5 degrees, 4, 5 degrees difference is there. So combust Moon is there. Retrograde Venus is also sitting there. Retrograde planets are normally not good actually for with Moon and this kind of houses. So retrograde Venus is sitting here. And Jupiter, actually, Jupiter is Badhak planet here and sitting in the sixth house, retrograde. It is aspecting the second house. Yeah. And then this second house is also in Pap Kartari Yoga. We can see that one side is Saturn, which is Lord of the sixth house. Another side is Mars, which is Lord of the eighth house. Yeah. So this second house is not good actually. It is in bad shape. And sub-lord of the second house is Mercury, which is very afflicted, I already told. Now come to the third point, that is about the ascendant. So what is the ascendant? Ascendant is this house, and here malefic Saturn, which is lord of the sixth house, it is sitting here. And lord of the ascendant Mercury is sitting here in the third house. As I said, that it is sitting with eighth lord Mars. It is aspected by Saturn, which is sixth lord. So ascendant is also not very happy here. And the constellation of the ascendant is Moon. Moon is severely combusted, so that is not good. And what about the sublord? Sublord of the ascendant is Saturn. Saturn is malefic planet, which is lord of the sixth house, so that is also not good. What about Aries? Aries is eighth house here, which is aspected by the 12th lord debilitated Sun. You can see that. And retrograde Venus. So Aries is also not good here. Okay, and now come to the fourth point, that is about the Moon. So already we discussed that Moon is severely combust. It is sitting with 12th Lord, debilitated Sun, retrograde Venus, and it is also in Moon is also in Pap Kartari Yoga. One side is Saturn, another side is Mars. Yeah. Moon sublord is the Saturn, which is the sixth lord, and constellation of the Moon is again Moon, which is very afflicted. Now come to the next point, that is about the Jupiter. Jupiter, we have seen that Jupiter is a Badhak planet here. It is sitting in the sixth house. It is retrograde. It is not a very good placement for Jupiter. And again, it is aspected by Mars. Mars is what? Mars is the eighth lord. Eighth lord Mars is aspecting Jupiter, which is not good. So it is spoiling the wisdom and maturity. Okay, then come to the Sun actually. Sun, we have seen that Sun is the 12th lord here. It is debilitated. And it is sitting with retrograde Venus and combust Moon. Yeah. Retrograde Badhak Jupiter is also aspecting Sun. So Sun is not good here. Actually, Sun is also not good. Now come to the final point, final rule, and that was for the fifth house. Fifth house looks blank here and there is no aspect also, but if we see it closely, then we see that fifth house constellation is severely afflicted moon. So constellation nakshatra of the fifth house is moon. Moon is anyhow very combust and severely afflicted. Pap Kartari Yoga and sitting with sun aspected by Jupiter, Badhak Jupiter. So moon is anyhow very spoiled. And fifth house sublord is Saturn. Saturn is what? Saturn is sixth lord sitting here. Yeah, so fifth house is also not happy, not very happy. So we have seen that all the 7 rules are applied in this D1 chart. This is the Lagna chart or Rashi chart, and all are 100% applicable. All rules are 100% applicable. Similarly, I have created D9, D3, D12 chart for this Y, and then all the rules they are also applicable here in these charts also. Okay, so you might have seen that all the 7 rules actually in one of the horoscope. I have shown you everything. And so yeah, these are the like 7 golden rules, Vedic astrology golden rules actually, which are applied successfully in all the horoscopes in 100% cases of D1 chart, and around 95%, 90% cases if we include D1, D3, D9 and D12 charts. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I hope you like this video and you like our conclusion. And yeah, I'm open to hear your views. And if you have anything more to add, please let me know. Anytime you can reach me at astrolisting.com or realastro.com. Thank you very much. Gyan Sharma, London.